Hold on tight because we're about to stop the world. Not in a metaphorical sense, but literally. Imagine for a moment that the entire planet just hits pause. No more spinning. It sounds like science fiction, but let's dive into what would actually happen if Earth's rotation suddenly came to a screeching halt. The consequences would be nothing short of catastrophic. Let's see what chaos unfolds if Earth's spin hits the brakes. First things first, if Earth suddenly stopped spinning, everything on the surface would keep moving at over 1,000 miles per hour, about as fast as a jumbo jet. That's because right now, the ground beneath your feet is actually moving at breakneck speed, even though you can't feel it. If the planet stopped, buildings, cars, trees, and even the oceans would all be launched eastward, as if the world had been flung from a giant slingshot. Oceans would surge like monster waves, tossing cities and forests as if they were toys. Imagine a wall of water hundreds of meters high, racing across continents, swallowing everything in its path. Coastal cities would be wiped out in an instant, and even areas far inland wouldn't be safe from the chaos. Imagine being swept off your feet by the whole planet. The air itself would become a hurricane, with winds so strong they could flatten forests and tear apart buildings. For a few terrifying moments, the world would be a blur of flying debris, crashing waves, and unstoppable winds. But that's just the beginning. The chaos wouldn't end after the initial shock. In fact, the real trouble would just be getting started. Earth's shape would change dramatically. Right now, our planet bulges at the equator because of its spin, making it slightly squashed at the poles. Without rotation, that bulge would shrink, and Earth would become more spherical. Gravity would feel stronger at the equator, pulling you down with more force, while at the poles, you'd feel a bit lighter. This shift would cause massive earthquakes and volcanic eruptions as the crust adjusts to its new shape. Weather, total mayhem. Winds would whip wildly and storms would become unpredictable monsters. The atmosphere, no longer dragged along by the spinning Earth, would start to move in strange and violent ways. Jet streams would collapse and new bizarre weather patterns would emerge, making the climate almost unrecognizable. It would be like Earth's weather channel on fast forward, but with no forecast and no way to prepare. Tornadoes, superstorms, and extreme temperature swings would become the new normal. Now picture this, a single day would last an entire year. That's right, with no spin, Earth would only rotate around the sun, so one side would face the sun for 6 months straight, while the other side would be plunged into darkness for half a year. One side would roast under the sun, baking like a pizza in an oven, while the other side freezes in endless darkness. Think desert on one side, Antarctica on the other. The temperature difference would be extreme, making most of the planet uninhabitable. Plants and animals would struggle to survive, and entire ecosystems would collapse. Long-term, things get even scarier. The world would become a place of endless droughts and frozen wastelands, with only a narrow strip of twilight between the two extremes where life might barely cling on. No spin means we lose our magnetic shield, letting nasty solar radiation pour in. Earth's spinning core creates a magnetic field that protects us from harmful solar and cosmic rays. Without it, the atmosphere would be bombarded by radiation, making the surface dangerous for any living thing. The atmosphere would thin, stripped away by solar winds, and life as we know it, pretty much impossible. The air would become thinner and thinner, and eventually, Earth might look more like Mars than the blue planet we know today. So, Earth's spin isn't just for sunsets and sunrises, it keeps our world alive. It gives us our days and nights, our weather, and even our magnetic shield. Without it, life would be a struggle, if not outright impossible. What do you think would be the wildest effect if Earth stopped spinning? Would you rather live in endless day or endless night? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's see who can come up with the craziest scenario. And remember, our planet's spin is safe, at least for now. So, next time you watch a sunset or feel a gentle breeze, thank Earth's rotation for keeping things in motion and making life possible.